Welcome to the third part where it's all going to be about business. Lorena and I, we had a meeting obviously before this podcast, and we spoke a lot about what do we see in terms of what people make mistakes in this business, why they could become way more successful if they would implement a couple of things. And one thing we identified looking into our own teams, leadership, and the industry in general was, and I'm going to ask you this question right away so we can start with it, and then we're going to answer all of the NGL questions regarding business. The first one is, how important is growth for a leader that does not come from, in general, personal development or being a leader itself and going through the experiences, but what can a leader do, something like reflecting, for example, to become better and grow in these ranks? Because every rank you want to grow, the more success you want, the more people you lead, you need to grow personally. And reflecting is something we see most people not doing. They are still stuck with the same problems, the same demons, the same past in that sense. You know, they are not getting to a next step, leaving stuff behind. So how is reflecting helping you, and how do you grow for yourself? You know, not me telling you what to do, not the book telling you what to do, but how do you learn out of daily situations in the business?
I think reflecting also is the same thing like being humble. Mm-hmm. Because we often get this compliments. Oh, you're so humble. You two are so humble. Because I don't think that I am perfect. Mm-hmm. I think I make mistakes. I think sometimes I did something wrong. I think sometimes I took also maybe wrong decisions. And I think this is something very healthy that everyone needs to have. Like not thinking I'm perfect, you're not, I know everything better, blah, blah, blah. You know, this kind of ego stuff, not being open anymore for opinions from others, not being open anymore for saying I was wrong, I'm sorry, like, because no one is perfect, no one. And I think reflecting is also important, that you do that sometimes with your leaders. Sometimes I ask my people also, are you happy? Is there something that I did wrong the last time? How many people really ask this to the leaders? Almost no one, because ego is here. I don't do any mistakes. I don't need to ask people what I did wrong because I did nothing wrong. And if someone says me that I did something wrong, they don't have respect, blah, blah, blah. You know, this kind of dictator stuff. And I think it's so important to reflect, to be like, oh, thank you for telling me. Now I see that from a completely different perspective. Oh, thank you. I was never thinking about this. Maybe I should work on this. So reflecting means always be open for becoming better and understanding also mistakes, because then you always say 100 million times, just through mistakes you learn. But when you think you don't do mistakes, you will not learn.
I think what's helped me a lot in this is trading, because in trading, it's all about coming up with a theory, or investing is the same thing, coming up with a theory why you are putting your money into something, and then it works or it doesn't. If it doesn't, you are reflecting why. And if it works, you also reflect why. And that's the same thing I do in life. And if I look into general people in our business, or in general in business, I see it in everywhere basically, right? But let's focus on the business. I think way too many people still live in the past. Like their past dictates too much of their future. They still didn't finish to think about the past, what happened to them, how it happened to them. Like things happen to all of us. I can control my future, and that's all what I'm focusing about. What happened in the past happened in the past. Leave the past where it is. Focus on the future. Do your steps. Then reflect why you did the step. See if this step added to your success, added to your peace of mind, added to positivity, or was it negative? Was it bad? Are people giving you feedback that this was not a good step? Reflect it, understand. And reflecting means going out and looking at what you could have done different. What did you do and how did it impact? You know, did you say something, or are you constantly saying things that are bringing you in front of the same situations and problems? Could you maybe say something different or think different, and then it would solve the problem? Is it your ego that is constantly blocking your success? Then put your ego aside. You know, I always say the rule of 10. If you enter a room with 10 people and 9 out of the 10 people are saying you are the problem, then you are the problem. But if you enter a room and there's 10 people and one of them says you're a problem and 9 say you're not a problem, then probably he's the problem, you know. But there is the 80-90% rule, and you need to be open for that. You know, if I do something, and let's say, including you, with 9 other leaders, you come to me and say, Miguel, this is complete bullshit, we're not going to do this. Then I have to think about myself. What is wrong in my thinking? Why am I not seeing, you know? But the same as you said, like, I love feedback. I'm open to respectful feedback. Disrespectful feedback, obviously not. It's not feedback. But I'm always open. I ask my team, what can we do different? What do you think?
I love feedback.
Yeah.
I love feedback.
Yeah,
I
100%.
wish that
100%.
sometimes
Like
more people would tell
Yeah.
me, Laurie, for growing your business,
Do this and
try
this.
that. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Because
But also asking for feedback. I think many people become too big to ask for feedback, you know?
Ah,
I
yeah.
give you an example now with
Yeah.
boxing. It's an easy example for me because it's a new thing that I'm pursuing a lot. It's like, it doesn't matter what your age is, you know, the most people that train me, they're younger than me and everything. And after, like, or even if I spar with someone or I have like a group session with someone, I go to them afterwards. I said, what do you think I could do better? You know, no one does that. Like, if you fight an enemy in a ring and then you go to your enemy and you say, what did I do wrong? What could I do better? You know, I've never ever someone came to me and said, Miguel, you just boxed me. What do you think and saw that I'm doing wrong? You know, and that's something people, you need to decide for it. You need to drop your ego and go to your enemy or go to your mentor or go to your team and say, I did this and this. What do you think about it?
And I think that shows so much strength. Like
100%.
every not enemy, what do you say in boxing? Your
opponent
will always be very impressed by
100%.
You asking this.
Yeah.
And also every upline, every mentor will always be impressed by you when you
100%.
text message a long time ago that we had a feedback call. Is there something that you see that I can do better? This is so important.
Especially people that you hold in high regards or are good in certain things that you are. It's not, you don't need to listen to everyone, and not everyone should have an opinion about you. There's people where I can say, okay, thank you for giving me the feedback, but you need to fix this first yourself, you know? But then there's people that they are, for example, I don't know. I also remember I went to a corporate person in the past in my network marketing career, and I said, "What do you see? What can I do better? And what are we doing good?" You know, and they said, "This and this is good, and this you should take care of." And I'm like, "Wow, I've never saw it that way," you know. And I fixed this little issue, and everything became better, you know. And it's so important to do that because sometimes you're not seeing it, you know. You're like you think you're doing it well and everything is going well, and it might go well, you know. That's why we always say it's so dangerous when everything is perfect, because that's where you start to make the mistakes and stuff. But in general, I just think people should reflect themselves more, should be more open. Just listening to someone doesn't mean you always have to do it, you know.
Yeah.
But like understanding what people think about you and feedback they give you, especially people that are more successful than you, and especially approaching people. Going to people and saying, Laurie, what could we do better? What is going, like every time we meet, we speak about what can we do better? What should we do? Where should we go? How do we twist this? What is the current problem? You know, we don't sit there and we're like, oh yeah, it's like everything's so good. Like we don't need to speak about it.
Yeah. But also when you have this problem, like I think this is this kind of personal issues when you say, I don't want to ask this upline for feedback because right now we have some issues. Ask the other upline.
Yeah.
You know, just overcome that. You're like, I don't want to ask Laurie because I don't know. I will ask Miguel. It's also completely fine. It's completely okay. Just asking someone who is an expert and who knows you good enough to give you feedback, of course.
100%. So this is a good one. Now we still have also the NGL questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
You already have one.
What is the one thing you wish you knew before you started network?
It will take time, but it works out 100%. That's what I would have liked to know. But you kind of build it up for yourself. I mean, when I started network marketing, it was still, I mean, network marketing is something that is very big and exists since a very long time. But network marketing and trading, I was one of the first leaders in this industry, you know, like the first ones to really do that. There were obviously other leaders and some of them were a little bit earlier. But I started so early in this industry that we didn't have people that had results. We had to create the results. You know, there was no system. We had to build a system. And I'm very grateful for that. But if I could tell someone, in my opinion, this is the most beautiful industry. This is the best industry. This is the easiest industry to become successful. It's the industry where you have the best outcome of success in terms of freedom, in terms of how you can structure your life, in terms of what experiences you make through the business, because you're forced to travel, you're forced to learn other cultures, you're forced to learn other languages, you're forced to get to know so many people. So there's so much upside in this business. And I think that if there is something that people do and many people are successful, and there's so many people you don't think how successful they are or were in network marketing. Like some of the biggest entrepreneurs I know outside of network marketing, they started in network marketing. That was the first time they started to make money and see there's more for them. I give you an example. I have a partner of mine. He's an asset manager for over 30 years. He became a doctor. He was studying to become a doctor.
Yeah.
And his first day he worked as a doctor, he said, I don't want to do this. Like, like the work, the amount, the blah, blah, blah. He said, I don't want to do that. So he took a break and he became a reseller in the network marketing structure back in the times for insurances. And that's where he started to make 60, 70, 80,000 euros. And that completely changed his life, you know? So there's so many people out there that started in this business in network marketing that changed their life. But summing it up, I really think people don't understand how beautiful this industry really is. And many people speak bad about it, right? If there's something positive, there's something negative. Many people speak bad about it, speak negative about it. But I still think it's the best system still today compared to everything for the normal average person to change their life, their perception, their personality, become a better version of themselves and stay if they want to. You don't have to stay. No one has to stay. But I just love this industry over everything. And I will always push it. And I think people should understand that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's just crazy in my opinion.
Yeah. I have two things, but they are both completely in different direction. First thing is that I wish to knew before that this business, like you say, is really serious. Like really an industry which is there for years and it's not something which just came up and then go away.
The hype like so many.
Yeah, because I think I struggled for almost 1 year with this belief sentences. One day I wake up and everything is gone because it was not very serious, or that people started texting me, you see, I knew that this network is nothing serious, blah, 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 because I was really struggling with believing in this industry that you really can stay long, like years or 20, 30 years in this industry and have good money, because I was very struggling with this kind of thing. What if I keep everything behind me for just one bubble or something which will, break one day. So, but then I started reading books like Business of the 21st Century, and then everything helped me, but it stuck to me crazy to really start pushing hard, because I was always thinking, what if this all is not a scam, but you know what I mean? That this is
like a bubble or something
just a
you
bubble.
spend a lot of time in and then it breaks.
Exactly, because a lot of people in your environment always say. Also, 2 days ago, I had a call with a long friend, a very long friend, and she was, anyway, after 5 years telling me, but what if all that is not there anymore, Laurie? Do you have another job perspective? Even after 5 years, she was worried about me that one day network marketing doesn't exist anymore. But I was very calm. I was like,
But
I
just
don't need to
something
worry.
very quickly about that. The skills you have learned the last 5 years, everyone would fall on their floor and pray for someone like you to have in their company. If it's marketing, if it's brokerage or trading, if it's leadership, if it's in an office, like the skills we learn in network marketing, it's running a business, but in every endeavor, right? So even if network marketing should not work one day, which makes zero sense because it's such a large industry and exists in so many decades.
We will find a way all together.
Like, easy. I already know 10 people would hire me right now for a big salary.
But like
100%.
Not just me personal, like also what always gives me very much safeness feeling is that even, let's say, but it will not happen, guys. Let's say network marketing is, not, it's forbidden. We will all find together a solution to go somewhere. It will not be like I call Miguel and Miguel is like, I found a job in this tower, bye. It will never be like this. We will all, it's a network,
it's a community. You can
it's a community.
Build other things,
And this is sometimes what people also don't understand, this kind of, what if your company is close? I'm like, right now, I love this company. I work for that company. I love that. Never had that before. But anyway, we have a community, we have a big network. I'm like, I will not lose my business because we are all one family. I will always protect this family. Everyone who is treating this family bad, I will push out. And we are having big visions all together. So we just go somewhere else. We will do another funny business together.
The stability of your life never comes down to an opportunity that someone gives you, or a job, or a certain industry, to say, all doctors are safe because they're doctors and we need doctors. It's about the good doctor. It's about the good network. It's about the ones that have the skills. They will forever be free. So freedom does not come from an employment or someone paying you a salary or a commission. It comes from your capabilities, your personality, your network. And the network we have and the network you are going to build when you become successful in this business is so wild that you will find easily so many other things to do if this moment should ever happen, which it never happened and it will not happen because it makes no sense.
Exactly. Yeah, and the other thing is very short is that, and this is funny because we spoke in the episode last week about that, is about this heartbreak or this personal stuff that I wish I knew before, that also people can break my heart in this industry. And another proof that we don't do this just for business. We also have a heart, and we also have personal friendships that people sometimes will not disappoint you, but that you have see a certain way for them. You also create the beautiful future in your brain with them, like going the next 20 years, one line together. We will, be unstoppable. And then these people just cut this vision away, and you cannot do anything about it.
True, yeah. There's many times you build a very good relationship and then the ways just part. And that's sad sometimes, but I think everything you have to learn, you're going to learn in this business. And there's nothing really I would have liked to know before I go into this industry besides that it works out, because everyone is going to have this.
I mean, if someone would tell me that, I would not be like, oh, then I don't start a network. This is not what I mean. I just being more prepared of this kind of personal issues sometimes. Sleepless nights, not sleepless night about will this work, sleepless night about this kind of being sad that this person is not gonna want to go the way with you anymore. And I think this will happen to every single person in this business, that you have leaders, people who go with you to a certain level, and then suddenly they, I don't know, want to do something else, or suddenly they don't feel what they want, and this relationship, like together being every day, stops. And of course it's like a friendship that's broke, it's like a relationship that stops, and you start missing also people because you had crazy days, and that this can happen. And a long time ago I tried to control it.
In the beginning in network marketing, you think like, oh, everything's so easy and nice and everyone loves each other. And the higher you go, the more shit, and that's again in every industry like that, but the more you understand. And that's just what it is, and then, sometimes you're a little bit heartbroken about it.
And then not trying to control this and trying, what can I do? How can I convince this person to stay with me if someone wants to go? And this is something I knew I wished before, because I tried to study books, communication, study something. How can I try to be with this person,
I understand them.
But yeah.
But again, these things make you stronger and they have to happen. So that's why you become a top leader, because you go through these things.
And I think it's also good for you to know that also we have been through it.
Yeah, 100%.
And stop think, and everywhere, it's written everywhere, control what you can control. And this is, I think, tip number one.
I feel many people have wrong expectations about business nowadays. It's so... They think about it so easy and so cute, It's like, oh, I'm going to sell some things on the internet. I'm going to make millions and that's it,
Yeah,
like,
this kind of I attract.
Everything is going to be cozy. There's no struggles, And it's the direct opposite. At the end of the day, maybe it's a little bit of a negative view, but I always say our job is one of constant crisis interrupted by brief moments of success. You have brief moments where you have a lot of success and the rest is crisis, problems. But it doesn't mean that it has to affect you. And the ones that are good and not letting them affect the crisis too much are the ones that still are going to have a chill life, because that's just how it is to build a business.
I'm very grateful for that, because it helps me in my private life. You know, when I have sometimes issues with other private people, I will do my best, but I will not lay in bed 2 weeks crying over that, what I maybe did when I was 18, 16, or what people nowadays sometimes do when their self-development is not very at this best. And now we learned, I mean, to sum that up, with all these things, we learned to keep our emotions under control and not to overreact and not to over panic if you get hurt.
Finding solutions, being rational, and that's what we get paid for solving problems.
Exactly. Okay. Do you have a question for me, Miguel?
I have, let me see, on the other list over here. That's a really good one. I like that, because I think these questions give people a lot of confidence watching this. But what would you say, Lorena? Who is the type that's becoming 100% successful, and who is the type that will never become successful? So in the sense of, if you have a certain person in your team, how can you tell they will become 100% successful, and how can you tell they're not? What are the qualities or what are the things that they're doing that shows you they will become successful, or therefore not?
I think, first of all, people that do what they say to you, Like when I say, you need to come to this convention, you come to this convention? Yes, I will come to the convention. And they come. I'm like, very good. Yeah. Credits to you. I can trust you. I will come. Oh, sorry, I cannot come. And I'm directly like, difficult, strange, and can be difficult in the future with you. Number one. And number two is 100% passion for network. Yeah. When I feel that this person is like doing sometimes this, and I don't want to say that you just need to think about network, of course not, but when I feel that there is this kind of, I will try, let's see. Actually, when I ask for their goals, and when they say, my real goal is having a ranch in America on the countryside, when having a farm, I'm sometimes like, maybe, yeah, okay, but I don't know if you will become that leader in this company, because of course you need to love being with people together. And when your dream is having a farm, we can do a side hustle. I never want to say that these people cannot do side hustles, but this person asked 100%
really
successful.
Big, then you need to be all in. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's say we speak about people who want to become the emerald rank, like the 10K rank and above. These needs to be people who really love what they are doing, who are like, I love building communities, being on incentives, planning this. This is my dream job, you know. But when there are always people who are with one foot in, one foot out all the time, then I am always thinking like, maybe they will reach some money. Of course, maybe they will do side hustle, but when they are never all in, trying to be a leader and helping really people, and
I mean, especially like if you think it still works very well, but you need to dedicate, I think, a good decade, like the first 10 years into just network marketing, building all of this. And then you will be financially and time free enough to have your farm and whatever you want to have and do other things, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I can also have a farm when I'm 50.
Yeah. But it's just like it's just not going to work saying like, I want this farm, I'm going to do 2 years and I'm going to buy myself a farm.
Exactly.
You know? It's just like people have to have the right expectation of time at the end of the day.
Yeah. So what do you think? Which people are 100% successful and which type not?
I mean, the first thing I liked a lot you said, which is saying and doing what they say. And then the second one is hardworking. I think having this hustle, like being a hustler, is very important. And there just seems to be people that are just not hardworking. They're not willing to do it, you know? And I think if you are hardworking, you're going to become very successful. And I also think being willing and hungry, like hungry means you have enough reason to go through a lot of difficult times to get where you want to go. I think that's really a skill, like being consistent and persistent. And because in the beginning, it's not going to be easy, you know, it's the first 1, 2, 3 years are hard. You know, you're not going to make a lot of money most of the times. It's going to be struggle. You're going to fall all the time. You're going to lose and win, but there's nothing like you feel like you're doing so much for nothing, you know, because a business is not like a job. You don't work and then you get a salary. It's like you work and work and work and work and work and then you get paid, you know, and then you work again a lot and then you maybe get paid and then maybe you work hard and you get paid less and you're like, why, you know? So I think being able to go through hard times is something that's very important. So I'm always looking for people in the beginning that work hard, they have a good work mentality. And they keep their word, right? They really do everything. Like, as you said, they say they come to a convention, they come to a convention. They're on the calls, they are professional. They take it serious.
Yeah, they are there.
And they have a good heart. That's for me the most important.
Yeah, it's not this kind of, don't be this person who is sometimes there, sometimes not, sometimes there, sometimes not.
Not gonna work.
Being sometimes on conventions and then not. Being sometimes on, you know, there and then not. Always people who are very successful or who went the way with us were people where I know I can call and they are there.
Always there, yeah.
Like, they are like, this is my priority, this business, and it's not a side hustle or this kind of hobby. You can do that as a side hustle, of course, but if you want to make really big money, then you of course have to be good in your job. I think this is everywhere like this, 100%. Everywhere.
The qualities will always be hungry, be willing, be someone that can be mentored, like be open for mentorship, always be there, be on time, keep your word, be as professional as you can, take it as serious as you can, just stay there and go through the hard time and then it will pay you back, you know. And if someone has that, but again, I struggle sometimes because sometimes people come to us and this is always a big question. Actually funny that it's not in the questions, but people say, can everyone become successful in network marketing? And I think not, because I think people need to have a big enough of a reason. That's like really one of the most important ones, like having a real reason, you know. I think that's really important for people, in my opinion, why they want to become successful. Not that something has to happen in the past, but where they want to go in the future, you know, in the sense of, I want this life, I want to go there. I understand some of us, like me and you, I started with a small idea. I just wanted to make $500.
Yeah.
You started because you wanted to pay your nails.
Yes.
So that's kind of crazy, you know, but I think to stay and become very successful, you need reasons for it. You need to be ready to go through difficult times and continue. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. But I sometimes think that people, sometimes mentors are on stage and say the biggest thing you need is your why and that stuff. And I understand. But sometimes I'm thinking that these people are like, I don't have a why. I need a why that makes me cry. I need to my parents, something that's very deep. And I never had this. So I can understand when people had that for driving that business. But I never had this kind of big why where I'm like, my family needs me. And, you know, this kind of...
just like fell in love with it, like with the business.
Yeah, like I just fell in love with that business and made me fun. Money was yummy and yeah, like it did everything that I always wanted. Being myself, wearing what I want, traveling.
True, yeah.
I just like the job, you know?
Yeah.
So
Makes
this
sense.
reason, I mean, yeah, this can also be a reason for me.
I guess it is a reason then, you know, because you fell in love so much with it. It's a reason to continue, and it's treating you well, and you see the benefits of it and stuff. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, again, it's very different for most people. But I think you and me, we love to mentor people that show us that they really take it serious. They respect our time and they respect the business, and they fall in love with people, with community, with serving. And we always have an open place for people that want to push the vision and make themselves and other people successful with a good heart. And if we see people start to have the wrong intentions, then they're going to be ruled out. That's it.
Yeah. And like the question you say, can everyone be successful? You don't think? I mean, for example, it's very, because women always have this kind of issue. Doesn't matter how you look, doesn't matter where you come from. Everyone can be successful depending on their outside, how they look.
If you're willing to change, I think.
The look?
No. In general. Like
if you're willing to change your look.
In general, if you're willing to change, you know, I think that, yes, everyone can become successful, but some people join and they think, I don't have to change anything and I will become successful.
No.
And with changing, I mean everything, not only not specifically the look, you know, but you grow, you learn. And if you're not ready to change and accept change, then it's going to be difficult, I think.
I spoke often in last team calls about this topic because I understood something. And I think that people will become successful in this business who are willing to have a lot of pressure and
Stress
who are
tolerance.
emotional stable and who can handle a lot of problems. Because some people doesn't want to go out of comfort zone and have problems in their brain and finding solutions. It's too hard for them. They cannot sleep. They can't handle this. So they are like, I'm out. It's too difficult for me. But people are like having pressure, finding solutions, you know, this kind of thing with circle of happiness. I can handle this balance. I will go through it. Like these people will become 100% successful who are like, I can stand this stress and I can handle it. For people who say, that's too hard for me, I will just do my 2 jobs. Oh, my neighbors doesn't like me. Oh, that's too hard for me. I want that they like me. Like people who cannot stand this brain fuck.
Yeah, makes sense.
They will not become successful.
True. It's a very good finishing point, I would say.
Yeah.
Do you have another one that you're seeing right now that you like to ask? There's still 3 or 4.
I mean, what was your game changer, we say, actually? Or you have one thing that we never said because of the...
No, I think there's many in there. I mean, there's so many game changers and so many things that you have to learn in this business and so many experiences, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here. If you would start today, what would you do to scale your business in 3 months? I think this is a person who wants to level up the business in the next 3 months. What would you do?
I mean, first of all, I would ask myself the question, where do I want to go? Like, what is my target, my goal, like my rank, my idea? What do I need to do for it? Many people, I think, speak about things or have goals, but they don't really know what it is. Like, for example, saying, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, that's one thing, but like, how much is a million? And how much do you make? I have to do a month to become a millionaire. Like, breaking down your goal, so you have a little bit more of a clear idea of it. So if it's a next rank or going higher, you need to know what exactly do you want? How can you measure it? Like, I want to have a bigger team. I want to have 50 more people in my team. I want to have this rank. I want to make this money. And then the second question is, you ask yourself the question, what do you need to do to get there? You need to reflect yourself. What have you been doing now? What can you do to better it? And if you don't know, you need to get someone to ask, because many times it's difficult to know things that you don't know, obviously, right? If you are in front of a rank or you want to level up the next 3 months, it's very good to get someone that is bigger than you to ask them, what would you do right now? Especially someone that knows you, your mentor, your upline, someone you work together with. It's always good to get an opinion, instead of just going there and trying to do it yourself. That's why network marketing is so beautiful, because you have people that can teach you how to do it, because success is always the same thing, just a little bit different. It varies on the personality types, but it's always the same steps, the same ideas, the same things. So there's always a game plan. So have a game plan and then execute it as much as you can. Work hard for it, believe in it, and execute. And then reflect again. Did it work? Did it not work? If it didn't work, ask yourself again, what should I do different? Go to someone, ask them, what do you think? I did this and this. What should I do different? So it's always a constant taking steps forwards, reflecting, sometimes taking a step backwards, and then taking steps forward again. That's always the thing.
I would also suggest that when you have a monthly or a time goal, like in 1 week, I want to become this. In 3 months, I want to become this. Understand which kind of type you are. Because I often saw this, especially with women, that when some women have pressure, let's say a qualification, that they start to panic and start to stare and cry and fall in a very negative situation. I can handle pressure very good. When someone tells me, we just have 2 seconds for doing a good picture, you need to stand there and perform, I will be like, okay, I need to perform, I can do that. But some of these women are like, oh my God, I just have 2 seconds, I don't know what to do, and start screaming. So understand, can you handle pressure good? Because we have a lot of women under pressure, qualifications, they hustle, they don't sleep, they do it. But there are also some people in qualifications time that they, like you say, start to freeze, panicking, crying, having self-doubts. What if I cannot do it in 3 months? What if I don't qualify for that incentive? Like, negative with pressure. Understand who you are, how you deal with pressure. And then when you have this kind of, in 3 months, I want to be, let's say, at the 5K rank, does that goal motivate you, or does it like make you anxious about not reaching and disappoint yourself? Then understand to be like, we have so much time. Sometimes I'm asking really myself why people panic so crazy, and then they're like, I didn't reach my goal in 3 months, I quit. This kind of,
it happens too often.
It happens too often. Never quit. And when you are like, true. I will never quit in this business. I don't want to say, I don't want to say now you can drink your coffee and be a little bit lazy. You can be 5K rank in 10 years. This is not what I wanted to say. But leave negative pressure. You will not die if you don't reach that rank. You will not, nothing bad happen. But so many people, after they didn't reach, quit because they cannot chill with this kind of, I didn't make my goal, so I will quit. Nothing makes any more sense.
At the end of the day, you go into the ring, you fight, you see what you do wrong, you reflect, you go in again, try to do it better, you go out, you look what you did wrong, you try to do it better. Sometimes it takes a couple of times for you to get there. It's nothing wrong with that. We all had that.
But this kind of, I will reach the goal, I'm happy. I will not reach the goal, I'm very sad and disappointed, and go. If you don't reach your goal, nothing will happen. You don't lose anything in this business. People are always, you don't lose. You if you are here and doing, you can just win. If you don't reach your goals, it's not that you need to pay a bill to be, you didn't make your rank, pay the bill. So nothing will happen. So please sometimes also have positive energy, fun while works, falling in love with that business and not starting to be anxious about reaching something, because it will come if you always trust what Miguel said 100 times. If you trust in you, if you reflect yourself, if you work every day, doesn't matter when it comes, you will win anyway.
100%. There's the next one that is really good, more personally, but I like it. How do you stay positive when you live in a small town in Europe where not many people believe in online business? Like, how do you, in general, I think what people are trying to understand is like, how do you, stay positive and motivate and build this business if everyone is against you, your family, people around you, friends, you live in a very difficult place to become successful, let's say it like that, because it's obviously easier to, just live in Dubai where everyone does online business and everyone is there and pushes each other, than some people live in a very small township or whatever and everyone is against it,
I think everyone needs to understand that I think 99% in network people build their network in their small hometown.
Yep. Same
no one was born in Dubai and built the business here. Always people say, when I'm in Dubai, I'm more productive. I cannot work in Germany. I don't can. You need to start building your business where it's hard. And then you can move somewhere else. It's not the solution to move somewhere else and then it's easy. So for you to understand, everyone built this business in a small town somewhere where no one was really open. Another thing about staying positive, this is a big topic.
I think in general, you need to create your environment, not wait for the environment. As you just said, the example, if I'm in Dubai, I'm going to work more. If I'm here, if I'm there, if I'm around. No, you need to create that. When I started network marketing, there was no community. There was no one to go. Like, we needed to build that, So I would always, it doesn't matter where you are. You can build everywhere. If it's a human, you can build with them. And it doesn't matter if it's East Europe, if it's Africa, if it's wherever it is. You can build teams everywhere. And we have teams everywhere, basically. So you can build communities everywhere. You just need to stop this negativity in your mind. Need to look for people that are willing to change their life, and there's everywhere people that want to make more money, that and then you need to be good enough to make them understand that this is the business that's going to take them there. And nowadays we have a little bit too much weakness, I think, in the business, where people say, I don't want to build in my country. Why? I don't want to build here. Why? It's too difficult here. Everyone is skeptical. Why? It's all BS. It's like everyone thinks that in the beginning. Every country I have a team in, people told me it will not work here. That's always the first thing. Why do we have teams there? Because it works, because there is someone that's going to make it work. So you need to build your success team. You need to build your community. You need to build and have and attract people and build people into becoming your support system,
Exactly.
And that's something that people don't understand. You will never create success if you wait for someone, for something to change. You need to change it. That's it.
Yeah. Start being this kind of star, this kind of, not star, not like celebrity, but this kind of light in your town, this light, because this is what everyone wants to be one day, I think. Because also people say to Miguel and me and to other leaders that we are, the rocks when everything is, going bad, that we inspire that. And of course, in a way where there's, you just say, just gray and black around you, you need to have this kind of motivation to be like, I want to be the light. I want to be the person in the story who was the hero.
Yeah.
Because also often I speak about, I watched last days Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I understood again.
know.
Or also Lord of the Rings. I'm a crazy nerd.
I love Star Wars.
And I understood that in every movie there is always dark.
Yeah.
And there's always this one hero who saw positivity.
And impacts other people, eh?
And this hero will always be in books, will always, people want to follow because he's leading where other people just see black. And maybe you think in the moment, here are so many people in my hometown who doesn't believe in it, who are sad. How can I stay positive? You can put on that vision and believe in it, that you will be the person who puts light in their life, who change their life. Because if there would already be someone who puts light in it, it would not be you, So you can create your own story and you can romanticize it. It's always think about, wow, one day I will be this leader in this country and help. And I always often do that sometimes.
I think one, in general, big rule in this business and in life is don't wait for anyone. Never. Don't wait for something to get better, be better. Just create it, go out there, try your best, and your time will come. That's always how it's going to be. Don't wait for circumstances, for changes, for better weather, for the rainy days to stop, for your whatever to be better. Just don't take it as an excuse. If you live in a country where there's high taxes, still start to build a business. It doesn't matter.
So how do you deal with procrastination in marketing, like sending messages? Like, how can you still do the things that are not really making so much fun for you?
Yeah, I think, to become successful in general, there's a lot of things you have to do that are not fun, in everything in life. Like many people always say the advice is like, do something you love and you will never have a job, But it's wrong, because if you do something, there's always going to be something when you do it that you don't like about it, If you do, I don't know, you do this business, okay? You love to be with people. You love to be on stage. You love to get the recognition. You love all of these things, but you don't like to cold contact and message people. Tough luck. That's just how it is. It's going to get you there. If you love, I don't know, riding horses, you still have to clean their shit. And maybe you don't like it, but that's the part of riding a horse. You need to take care of it. Relationship. You love to have a relationship. You love to have someone in your life that you love, and you have a good relationship. And sometimes there's going to be difficult times. You're not going to run away when there's a difficult time to lose everything else. So in everything in life we do, even if it's 80%, 90% positive and you love to do it, there will always be things you don't like to do. But these things, if you do them, they're going to make you extraordinarily successful. And the reason why big leaders are leaders and they make the money they make is because they constantly do things they are scared of, they don't want to do, they feel uncomfortable with, and their body is telling them not to do it. If I would be not in this business, I would have no social media. I would not have a lot of people that I'm contacted with. I would most of the time spend alone because I'm a very introverted person. I would have 2 or 3 friends and that's it. But everything else I do, podcasts, speaking, YouTube, going on stages, traveling all the time, being with people all the time, is out of my comfort zone. And it still drains me, and it still is something that I don't like too much. I like it, but there's points where I'm doing many things for this business that I don't want to do. But that's the reason why you and me and many other leaders are where we are, because we constantly do things we don't want to do. It's just what it is.
Also, often people are like, because before I was like, this is my passion. I love this business. It's my passion. And often I had people who were like, Laurie, it's so inspiring that this is your passion. But sometimes I have days where I don't like doing network. I have days where I don't like doing my to-dos, and you love it so much. So maybe I will never become so successful like you because I don't have so much love for this business like you. So I can quit. No. I have days where I don't want to get up. I really, you think I'm perfect. You think I'm waking up every day happy. No, there are days where my room looks like chaos, where I don't want to do the laundry, where I don't put makeup on my face because I don't like wearing makeup actually. And there are phases where I have 70 messages and I get messages and I'm like, just please don't text me. So really, there are days where I'm like, why am I doing this business? Real talk. Of course, not 80%, not 90%. Let's say I have these days like 10 or 15% sometimes where I'm like, why? But I think that's normal. Like you also say, you have this with every job in the world. You have this with relationships, with friendships.
But that's what makes it good. I think like you need to change your mindset about these things. I love things that I need to do that I don't want to do, but the feeling afterwards,
Yeah.
That's for what I live for that. And I was not like that in the beginning. I think we are all being taught to have this instant gratification, and everything we do needs to be fun right now and it needs to feel good. No, you will have to do a lot of things that don't feel good, you don't feel comfortable with, you don't want to do them. You are, crying in the inside, but you're laughing in the outside. But that's what is going to make your character, make you stronger. And you are then not a victim to circumstances, you create them. You can control your energy, even though you don't feel good in the inside. If you open this laptop and you have a Zoom call, you're going to give all of your energy. And that's something you can learn. So try to not always look for instant gratification, and delayed gratification is what's going to make you very successful in life and in business, especially.
Safe. You don't know how often sometimes I have these thoughts like, you know what? I just want to be wifey and have children and do nothing.
I also sometimes sit there, I'm like, fuck all of this. I'm just gonna trade. I don't want to speak to anyone anymore. It's just like normal.
Sometimes I'm like, okay, my plan B is I just go out of a group chats. I speak with you all and I'm just the cute wifey doing nothing. I just have that for sometimes some minutes.
Yeah, same.
And then I'm just like, okay, no, you were born with this kind of desire. You were born with these skills. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you came to this business. There's a reason why someone texted you. There's a reason for everything. I was not born for this, for, being chilling on sofa. I would be too bored. I don't know what I would do every day. So, and then I think it's normal having bad days, not wanting to do network, not wanting to do anything. But do you really quit? Like, how often did we quit thinking about quitting? A lot of times, but we never quit. And this is, in the end, don't always take your thoughts too serious about who you are and what you take what you are doing more serious. And also when you think like what Miguel said in the beginning, or for the question, when you don't want to cold message, this kind of, I don't want to do cold message. Okay, but in the end, maybe you do. In the end, you do it like, I don't want, but you do. Be proud of yourself. And in the end, when you did, you will be like, actually, it was not that hard. Actually, I survived.
Yeah, I was just laughing because I was reminding myself when I woke up this morning, I'm like, every muscle in my body hurts. I know we have this podcast now, and then we have to do a meeting, a call, and then I have boxing again. And when I was coming here, I was just like, why don't I just like stay at home and I just like game the whole day, you know? That was my thought. But then you come here and you're just like, okay, it's easy. And then you go there, you do, and then you lie in bed at night, you're like, shit, I did everything I did not want to do. I did it and it was nice, and we created success and we created information and I worked on myself and we did all of these things, and then I'm gonna sleep better than knowing I just did nothing the whole day, you know? So you need to become this person where you get more satisfaction and you are happier doing the things and then being proud of yourself than directly getting this gratification.
And this is the self-confidence
and that's
stuff.
the self-confidence, and that's understanding that this is going to make you successful, you know, because at the end of the day, that's just how the world works. You do and you get. If you don't do anything, you don't get anything. And you need to, there's always difficulty, there's always pain. Either you have the pain of not doing anything, or you have the pain of doing it, but then you have everything else. And I'd rather have the pain of doing it and then having everything else and complete freedom. So you always pay a price. What price do you want to pay is what you need to decide on.
Exactly. And sometimes in our brain, everything is so hard.
But then it's so easy when you do it.
But then also when you think about other jobs, other things that people need to do, often, especially in Dubai, sometimes I'm like, wow, I can be so grateful of doing this job, finding this kind of job, because the other stuff would be much more hard for me to do. Going in the office, being, you know,
it's boring. I think the worst thing for me would be a boring job. Doesn't matter how much it pays, but like every day the same thing. I don't understand how people. I have so much respect, and I'm so grateful that I don't have to do it. It's because this business every day is something new. But imagine you wake up for 30 years. And your job is to copy numbers in an Excel sheet. Bro, how? You know, like how? Like you say, I don't understand how people can, or be, nothing against bus drivers, but how can you drive a bus for 30 years? You know, it's like every day the same route, the same thing, the same people you pick up. Wow, I don't understand. I really don't understand. And I would rather cold contact people or be with people all the time, or, you know, being out of my comfort zone, but then have this life. I don't get it.
And this is maybe for the conclusion, because I was thinking now about these bus drivers. Maybe some bus drivers are really happy about driving this bus, because it's not about stress. They don't need to handle things in their brain. They don't have responsibility. So, and of course, there are people who love their jobs, who are not networkers, and that's very good. We are happy for this. But maybe these people are made for not having stress in their brains, not for having mind fucks, who can just, I go in the bus, I drive,
just turn off the brain,
turn off the brain, then I go home and I just relax. Some people are made for this.
We are creatures of habits.
Exactly. And some people like Miguel and me, we will be in the bus. We would go crazy, cry, because this is like unterfordern.
Yeah, it's not pushing you. It's not something that is testing you, or it's like,
we have too much potential. Oh no, I don't want to say that a bus driver doesn't have any potential.
But he doesn't see the potential in him. Maybe, or he's satisfied, he's tolerating. You know?
He's satisfied with this, but we are not satisfied with doing this, because we are like, I can do more than driving a bus. I need more stress. I need to handle more.
And we find satisfaction in doing more and seeing the success.
Exactly, and this is why people are like
nothing against bus drivers.
And this is why people are entrepreneurs. And some people don't, because some people also trying to be entrepreneurs and figure out this is too much stress. They more enjoy weekend. They more enjoy having a boss who tell them what to do.
Fixed salary.
And this is the same thing. A lot of people in our network who are made for a salary come in network trying to be someone they are not. And this is how you figure out like this kind of, they don't do what they say, they get stressed out very fast. And that's fine. They are not made for this. But yeah, the good thing is a lot of people message maybe you or message you sometimes who say, I have more potential for 9 to 5. I'm made for more. And this is a network where they can find their passion.
100%.